Welcome back. 11 people are missing after a mainland cargo vessel collided with a container ship and sank near Potoi Island this morning. One crew member from the stricken vessel was saved, but rescuers are still looking for the others. Rachel Leung reports.
The surviving crew member, who is from the mainland, was rescued by a nearby fishing boat. He was taken to Ratunji Hospital in Wan Chai for treatment. The Guangdong Provincial Maritime Rescue Coordination Center has launched a search and rescue operation to find the missing crew from the sunken vessel. Mr. Choi of the Guangdong Rescue Center said large swells and low visibility have made the search very difficult. Hong Kong Maritime Police are also assisting with the operation in waters south of Potoi. According to state media, the accident happened at around 3 this morning when a container ship registered in the Marshall Islands collided with a mainland cargo vessel, the Zhongxing 2, southwest of Potoi. 12 crew members were on board at the time of the incident. Rachel Ling, TVB News.
The Law Society of Hong Kong has ruled out civil and political party nominations of candidates in the 2017 chief executive election. The organisation says that's because it finds such methods inconsistent with the basic law. It also says requirements that candidates love the country and love Hong Kong have no legal basis. Charles De Silva reports.
The Law Society's submission to the government on constitutional reform favours increasing the number of seats in the nominating committee and widening public participation in the body. Such changes should be introduced in a way that doesn't allow for would-be candidates to be unreasonably or unlawfully included, excluded or pre-screened in the nomination process. The Society says most of its members believe there should be a cap on the number of candidates that ultimately are nominated to run, but stops short of putting forth a figure because it believes that's a political question. On the issue of civil and political party nomination of CE candidates, the Society's President Ambrose Lam said anything that undermines the constitutional role of the nominating committee is inconsistent with the basic law. As to proposals pitching the idea of allowing the public to recommend candidates that would have to be vetted by the nominating committee, Lam was short of words.
I don't want to make any comment on this.
With regards to suggestions that CE candidates would have to love the country and love Hong Kong, the Law Society said there is no legal mechanism to assess someone's patriotism and again refused to elaborate further.
I already provide the answer. Thank you.
The Law Society's submission also shows a majority of its members would be dissatisfied if Hong Kong failed to achieve universal suffrage on time for the next Chief Executive and Legislative Council elections. João Da Silva, TVB News.
Turning overseas again, an investigation is underway in the US state of Rhode Island after a circus performance went wrong. 9 performers were seriously hurt and several others suffered less serious injuries. 8 female acrobats were doing a hair-hanging stunt when they plunged 10 meters to the ground after the structure that they were performing on suddenly collapsed. They were suspended in a human chandelier formation about 45 minutes into the show. A dancer on the ground was also among those hurt. One of those injured is in critical condition. Sinn Féin party leader Gerry Adams has been released without charge after 5 days of police questioning over his alleged role in a 1972 killing of a Belfast mother of 10. Police arrested Adams last week over the Irish Republican Army murder of Jean McConville. The 37-year-old widow was taken from her home, killed and dumped in an unmarked grave. Adams rejects claims made by IRA veterans that he was responsible as Belfast's IRA commander at the time. Adams has led Sinn Féin since 1983 and won credit for steering the IRA towards ceasefire and compromise with Northern Ireland's Protestant majority. The investigation of Adams is not over. Police have sent an evidence file to prosecutors for potential charges later.
Thailand is celebrating the 64th coronation anniversary of its king. A Buddhist ceremony attended by the royal family and top government officials was held in Klai Kang Won Palace, where King Bhumibol Adulyadej and Queen Sirikit now live. The 86-year-old king has suffered from ill health for several years and now uses a wheelchair. King Bhumibol is the world's longest reigning monarch. He came to the throne in 1950 when he was just 18 years old. All right, Tony, over to you for sports.
Yeah, and staying with Thailand, we got a bit more about Thailand's new Lumpini Stadium. But before that, we're going to start off, or kick off, with football, English football to be in fact, and Chelsea's title hopes are in tatters after a 0-0